Hi everybody, today I wanted to talk about the power of storytelling when you're in an interview environment. So whether you're in sales, particularly when you're in sales, but whether you're in sales, marketing, quality, production, it doesn't really matter. But if you can tell a story during your interview to the person that's interviewing you, it will stand you in good stead. Now, I want to explain what I mean, and I'm going to put it in sales terms because I can't talk about everything at once. So let's talk about this from a sales point of view to start with. So rather than sitting in the interview and talking about your CV and I went on, I did this, and then I went to there and I did that, and I achieved this here, and I grew sales by X% there, and blah, 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 managed this number of people. Rather than putting it in those terms, and that, I mean, nothing wrong with that, use those terms as well. If you've got the power within your little portfolio of information in your head during the interview to spend 5 minutes talking somebody through a sale or a scenario, then that will be really powerful. So from a sales point of view, start at the beginning as to think about one of the best sales you've ever made. Think about something that sits in your mind of what you did in the past that was really, really good. Try and align it to the marketplace that the person who is interviewing you works within. So if they're in construction, try and align the sale to a construction environment. Pick one in your mind that aligns as nearest as possible to construction, if construction's your thing, or if whatever, it doesn't really matter what's your thing, but try and align it as close as possible. And start at, where did the lead come from for the sale? Okay, the lead came in from a marketing exercise or an exhibition stand that I was on. So I picked up a lead on an exhibition stand. Then you need to tell the story of how that lead moved from being a cold or semi-warm lead into a first communication, and then from there, how the decision-making unit was formed within your mind as to the company that you were trying to sell to. So this person was really important, but I also needed to know this person, this person, this person. This is how I did it. So try and tell the story of how you achieve that from lead to building the decision-making unit. Then once you've got the decision-making unit, how you established exactly what the requirement was. You know, I had meetings with them to understand that they were looking for an X, Y, and a Z. And then how you presented your solution to what they were requiring, the X, Y, and the Z, and maybe a W as well in the middle. So put it forward in that way, talk them through it in detail of the processes that you went through to keep that customer engaged in what you were offering them and move them along towards the end goal, which is of course achieving the sale. So, and then how you establish the price points and all the other things and other steps, depending on what you're selling, there's loads of different things you might have to do. How you establish the price point and created a quotation that was suitable for them, and then how you presented that, how you then modified it if you needed to modify it, and take them through the whole of the steps completely from beginning right through to quotation, how you close them down into the order. Yeah, and then I did this to close the order and talk to them. And then, you know, if it was a long period, how you kept them interested, you know, because some of these sales cycles that we work on are hugely, ridiculously long at times. You know, there was XYZ show and tells to do in XYZ different hospitals, if that's your line. Put it forward in those terms and what you achieved at each thing and how you worked it and how you kept digging in, and then take it from the quotation to closing the order, how you got the order, and then also not just leaving it there, but then what you did after you got the order to ensure that there was full satisfaction. You know, sometimes you get an order and that's the end of it, but other times you have to then go back through the loop again, make sure that deliveries are on time, make sure the customer's happy with what they've got and everybody's understood and it's all gone according to plan, and then finding out if there are any other opportunities to grow that account into something bigger. Of course, because that's when you're in sales, that's what we all want, bigger, more money. If you've got that story up your sleeve, not just one, I would suggest you several, interesting, well thought out, structured stories that take somebody through the process in 5 minutes. Don't want to be more, longer than 5 minutes because it'll become boring. It'll be like this video, it'll become boring if it gets too long. But get them from A to Z in 5 minutes, rehearse it to yourself, rehearse it to your husband, rehearse it to your wife, to girlfriend, boyfriend, anybody that will listen. Take them through the story so you know what you're talking about, and you can be convincing and you can be authentic in what you're saying, and it doesn't sound like you've said it 100 times before, and it will be engaging. Now, the reason to tell a story is simple. It shows the person that you're talking to in the interview that you understand the process and the customer base fully. They will get the knowledge from that number one, you're an engaging person, but number two, you understand what has to be done in order to win the order. And then after the order's been won, what you have to do then to grow the account. So yeah, it's a really, really empowering thing to do when you're in an interview. Or actually, even if you're trying to sell something, is to take somebody through the process of what you did with somebody else in order to achieve the sale or grow the account or put the marketing plan in place or improve the quality or whatever it happens to be. So a good story is great. Now this storytelling aspect is becoming more and more popular during interviews, especially when senior managers are involved. So you often get it where the senior manager, the managing director or the CEO, if you get involved with those people, or even the sales director or the national sales manager, will ask you to explain what was the best sale you ever made. Now, you can say, oh yeah, I sold X many thousands of widgets to XYZ company, that was my best sale. Or you can say, oh yeah, what I managed to do was take a lead that was cold and convert it into 1,000 widgets, and I did it like this. And then after I'd done that, I managed to then take that impetus and grow the account, double it, triple it, or whatever it happens to be. That kind of 5-minute process is incredibly powerful. I strongly, strongly recommend that you get that little bit of knowledge up your sleeve so that you can tell it in an interesting way when you're sat in front of somebody being interviewed. If it works, please let me know. If it doesn't work, please let me know as well. It will work, I'm sure of it myself, but if it doesn't, tell me why. And I hope it works for you. Thanks, bye-bye.